All right, this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and jump into the video immediately, guys.
Christina Coleman, she has the latest on this morning's attack on law enforcement in Illinois. Christina.
Hi, John. DHS Assistant Secretary Tricia McLaughlin says law enforcement officers were boxed in by 10 cars this morning in Broadview, Illinois, the very same area where anti-ICE crowds have been gathering for days. She said, quote, agents were unable to move their vehicle and exited the car. One of the drivers who rammed the law enforcement vehicle was armed with a semi-automatic weapon. She says law enforcement fired defensive shots at an armed U.S. citizen who drove herself to the hospital to get care for wounds. McLaughlin also said that the armed woman was named in a CBP intelligence bulletin last week for doxing agents and posting online, hey, to all my gang, let's F them up. Don't let them take anyone.
Oh, yeah, you got to go to jail, guys. Oh, yeah, she needs to sit underneath the jail for the moment here, guys. I mean, listen, if you're specifically looking to commit basically terror on federal employees, specifically the ones doing their jobs, then I think you need to see the jail cells, guys, okay? Listen, there's a difference between freedom of speech and then you acting upon your absolute ridiculousness. Here, guys, you posted, hey, all my gang, let's F those MFers up, guys. Come on, guys. No. Jail.
Very disturbing. Things got violent outside of the ICE facility in Broadview, Illinois, again early yesterday morning. Take a look at that, with anti-ICE protesters clashing with law enforcement. Approximately 250 anti-ICE protesters gathered there. Federal agents fired pepper balls and tear gas to try and break up the crowd, blocking federal operations. Today, Illinois Governor JB Pritzker put out a statement saying the Trump administration intends to federalize 300 members of the Illinois National Guard in the coming hours.
Yeah, what do you think?
Pritzker said,
like,
quote,
why do you think he's doing that?
The Trump administration's Department of War gave me an ultimatum. Call up your troops or we will. It is absolutely outrageous and un-American to demand a governor send military troops within our own borders and against our will.
Like, does he not see what's going on here? Just like how the governor, it seems like the governor of Oregon is also kind of in cahoots with JB Pritzker here. It's crazy. Listen. Look at what's happening on the street here. You're not sending an adequate amount of police officers to actually, for the most part, defend the people who you know that are going to be assaulted. You know that these government employees are going to consistently be bombarded. Things are going to be hurled at them. But apparently, someone is going to try to ram a vehicle into them. Also being armed at a protest. Guys, understand what's happening here, okay? You can't stand on the fact that this is going to be a peaceful kind of expression of the First Amendment when you're carrying a gun at a protest. Okay. And specifically, you're coming from the side of things where if someone has a different opinion, you're going to do something absolutely crazy. Like, I don't know, ram the federal agents, guys. Right? JB Pritzker absolutely here, in fact, needs to send the National Guard to kind of help out with the scenario here, because you're losing control of this thing very fast. All right. The people that are there are not the regular, common, typical, peaceful protester type of people. Just wait till the guys in black start showing up, guys. Things are going to get crazy. All right. Either way, let's continue.
Pritzker maintains that there's no need for military troops on the ground in Illinois, and he says he will not call up the National Guard.
Then they're going to be federalized.
Meantime, in Portland, another city with ongoing violence outside of an ICE facility, a fist fight broke out between an ICE supporter and anti-ICE protester. You could see there in that video that that was a conservative influencer who had been arrested by Portland police. Explained to our Bill Malusian what had happened. He has since been released. But there you go. You could see that fist fight between that ICE protester and anti-ICE supporter. There you go. There you see him laid out. That's just some of the ongoing violence there. Now, federal authorities say local politics is impacting police involvement. Take a listen.
That's exactly what's happening.
Unfortunately, local police has been restricted from responding or cooperating at all with federal authorities, which is completely absurd.
Also last night, Portland police say they arrested two men who refused to get out of the street and engaged in aggressive behavior toward each other during the protests. Again, just some of the ongoing violence in that area, John. Very, very disturbing.
Yeah, Christina Coleman, what a week. Thank you. We just, received this statement from the U.S. Attorney's Office. The Chicago U.S. Attorney's Office is aware of this serious incident, which placed officer life and safety at risk.
And what are they
This
doing about
Department
it?
of Justice
Nothing?
does not tolerate assaults and obstruction of our brave men and
Okay.
women in federal law enforcement.
Okay.
We will investigate and prosecute all those who assault or obstruct federal law enforcement, including public officials, and we will hold them accountable to the full extent of the law. That's
Guys, I'm almost positive that none of us here absolutely believe any of that nonsense, guys. And the reason why I'm saying this here, why we don't believe it, is because if that was true, then they would send out the National Guard, or at least someone that has the ability to kind of aid, the officers that are trying to push back against these protesters, violent protesters. Okay. Now here's the thing, guys. You sent me 2 videos here. I was going to react to these separately, but apparently these are on the same topic based off the title. So let's go ahead and actually jump into the next video immediately right now here. Guys.
And it is a similar scene in Chicago. Violence escalating between protesters and ICE agents here. A woman was shot after she allegedly attempted to hit federal officers with her car. Then in Broadview, Illinois, that's about a half-hour west of the city, the Department of Homeland Security is reporting that law enforcement officers were rammed by vehicles and boxed in by 10 cars. That's where we find News Nation's Mills Hayes. Mills, what are you seeing out there today?
Hi, Kelly. Well, there are more protesters that have started to come here to this Broadview ICE facility. We know there's some more activity. Also, where that woman was shot, you mentioned that. Now, we also know that Illinois Governor JB Pritzker says that President Trump plans to federalize 100 Illinois National Guard troops to help protect ICE personnel and facilities. We expect this crowd here at the Broadview ICE facility to grow throughout the night.
Oh, it's going to get larger.
Meanwhile, DHS is speaking out after a woman was shot by federal law enforcement officers after allegedly trying to ram Border Patrol agents with her car. DHS Secretary Kristi Noem posting on X saying, quote, members of our brave law enforcement were attacked, rammed, and boxed in by 10 vehicles, including an attacker with a semi-automatic weapon, adding that she is deploying more special operations to control the scene. The FBI is investigating, and the woman is in critical condition at the hospital. Protesters responding nearby the incident, angry about ICE activity in the area. One woman saying her son, who is a U.S. citizen, was detained earlier today by immigration officials. All of this happening after Secretary Noem's visit to the Broadview ICE facility, where protests have been intense. She did not take questions from the press. Border Patrol Commander-at-Large Gregory Bovino leading the arrest outside the facility on Friday. DHS says that 13 quote, rioters were arrested during the standoff, with Illinois State Police joining federal law enforcement officers in trying to keep protesters back. Meanwhile, Operation Midway Blitz enforcement operations continue. This video showing the moments that federal law enforcement deployed tear gas from their SUV in front of a Hispanic grocery store while community activists tried to impede ICE vehicles. A similar situation outside
Guys,
a local
what are
hospital
you
where
expecting?
tear gas was deployed while protesters tried to block law enforcement vehicles. Chicago alderperson Jesse Fuentes was briefly put in handcuffs at that hospital after trying to get more information about an undocumented man who was injured during an arrest. And at the hospital, protesters saying that there is no need for the National Guard.
Oh, yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, the reason why they do not want the National Guard to come is because they know they're not going to be able to get away with any of the stuff that they have been, in fact, getting away with. Let's just say this here. Listen, the police officers that are here right now obviously cannot control the scenario. All right, so it's time to actually escalate the scenario to someone who, or some entity or some group specifically that has the ability, the training to kind of come in and deal with these mass amounts of crowd control. They're not going to put their hands on the National Guard, but they have no problem putting their hands on a regular community police officer. Understand what's going on here. They do not want it. They don't want the National Guard because they know things are going to have to end here, guys. This is getting absolutely absurd here.
We're here today because we don't know what else to do. I mean, what's happening in this country is insane. I heard just this morning, first thing, of a father of a student in my children's school district being kidnapped by ICE and taken. I don't know all the details, but this
Was he illegal? Did he have a deportation order?
is affecting communities. It's affecting everyone.
This is I don't, we're done. This is a lot here. Like, listen, don't get me wrong here. I do understand there is a subsection of Americans who say the people that have broken into our country illegally, they should be able to stay because they got here. The problem here is that, guys, we have laws. right? And I'm not sure that we need to kind of get to the point where we either get rid of our laws or get rid of our borders to basically soothe, the feelings and emotions of the individuals that are out here protesting against laws here. Now, listen. The person who she was just talking about here, I wonder, did he have a deportation order? If he had a deportation order, then what's the problem here? Basically, look at it like a warrant for your arrest. If you do something wrong, you get a warrant, the cops are going to come and take you. All right, they're going to come pick you up and you're going to go right to jail. All right, but think about it in terms of immigration. You've been deemed that your asylum claim is fraudulent, basically. Right? So guess what that means here, guys? They have to go. Who cares how long they've been here? What are you talking about here? Like, none of these things matter. That means that, listen, the time that they've been here, what they could have seriously done was actually try to enact change in their own life, let's say, and become legal in some meaningful manner, specifically under Biden. That would have been easy, super easy to do, right? They didn't do it. They didn't do it. All the chances that they had to actually make things, work for them, they didn't take it. All right, they just kept prolonging it, guys. We cannot have a subsection in our society specifically that does not have to follow our rules. All right, it just doesn't make any sense. I keep saying this, like I always come back to the same point. It doesn't make any sense. All right, like, so they want to pick and choose laws and then protest ones that make them feel bad internally. Guys, the law should have no emotion and no bias. Okay, truth be told. And we need borders. We need secure borders. Okay, that's where we're at. That's where I am personally. All right. But either way, guys, listen, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. We're definitely going to follow whatever kind of comes out of this, because this seems to be a lot happening all the time here, consistently. And definitely Trump needs to, in fact, kind of supersede JB Pritzker's authority, let's say, and enact change specifically in this region. All right, we need to come up with some like federalized National Guard troops that can come and fix this here and get rid of these people. Like, listen, protesting is protesting, sure. If you remember, yesterday they started putting up barricades specifically for where the protesters can be. They completely ignored it. Okay, they completely ignored the barricade, and they're trying to push into the facility. What are they doing here? You understand what I'm saying here? This is no longer a peaceful protest. But either way, all right, listen, if you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later.